Well, gee, were you going to say something? So, hey, everybody, here we are with Lars's latest prop rescue from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. This yellow beast that you see before you was, at one time, a miniature of the diving bell from the Seaview.
Well, it actually still is.
It technically is still, well, yes, but it has suffered more than just age damage. It has suffered a little damage from the crushing of a dinosaur from what episode?
It's called Night of Terror.
Yes, even though there are several episodes where they're on islands with dinosaurs. Right. This one happens to be Night of Terror. And so the yellow, the portion that you see that's the yellow and the gray is the actual, what's remaining of the original prop.
Reused diving bell. After it was destroyed or crushed by the dinosaur, a giant lizard, they call it.
Right. And can you put your hand in the back there just for scale so we can see what we're looking at here? All right, so there's, come down a little bit. All right, just so you can see his hand. So it's actually, the whole diving bell is about the size of the palm of his hand. That's about it. Right.
It's about 1/50th, 1/48th scale. That's the size of the figures. So that's
right. Because we want you to really appreciate the figures, how small they are. And so we've got Nelson and Sharky. Mm-hmm. Sharky kneeling down with the customized laser gun that might be familiar to people who watch a different Irwin Allen TV show.
Yes, they just changed the colors a little bit. It's basically the Lost in Space laser rifle used on Voyage, where they just changed the color of the handle. Basically,
right. I need a pointer is what I need, because I want to point out some things without sticking my hand in there, because then the camera gets wacky. If you would like to point to the footprint.
Yes, the footprint right here is from the giant dinosaur, and that's an Irwin Allen dinosaur footprint that I actually studied from Lost World.
Yes,
because it was the same dinosaur. Basically, that was used in this episode.
Right. And
new footage, not stock footage.
And he's a little more detailed than most people would bother.
With the little,
with
a little bit of detail in there.
And go ahead.
Yeah, and these bits and pieces here came with the diving bell from my friend Kirk that I got this job from. So he gave me these little bits and pieces in a baggie. So they've been kind of rescued and scattered about to add to this scene. Mm-hmm.
And then before you turn it, so the nameplate on the front on this is particularly special.
Yes.
Because it is actually the autographs from Terry Becker, Sharky, and David Hedison. Who would he be? Oh, yes, Captain Crane. And Alan Hunt. Riley, right? My brain just went like that for a second. Yeah. So the three of them were at the convention, which you'll find on our various Irwin Allen blogs. We were at a convention, and Kirk was able to get the three of them to autograph the plaque, which was really neat to put on here. Sadly, though, Alan is not in this vignette. He is back at the Seaview trying to figure out how to rescue them. Along with
and Richard Basehart, or Admiral Nelson there, is trying to contact Seaview for help.
Oh, that's true, because David Hedison's not in here either.
Which he did do in this episode. This is a little bit stretched here. The logic of the cord going that long, and the wreckage, it probably wouldn't be working. But we stretch things a little bit, which in the Irwin Allen world, anything goes, really. Right. So
you want to give it a little spin here and see what's on the side.
Yeah, and then here.
So this is the part that gave him real fits. Was
there's a couple of scratch built items here, like this hatch.
I'm going to try.
Kirk wanted
in just a little.
Move that in a little bit
so you can see it better.
Yeah, this hatch is scratch built and added to the scene to just. With the Nelson Institute logo on there and this, and that was the trickiest part, getting all that in scale. This is actually a dry transfer, and this I actually got off the internet. There was a straight-on shot of the full-scale diving bell, and was able to reduce it to fit this, and then made a decal out of it.
And of course, without that, it's kind of difficult to figure out what it is you're looking at here. So. That was kind of, so that was kind of also part of the purpose of having it there. But I think it really adds a lot to the scene because it does really place you as that being the diving bell, because that hatch is so iconic
and
from the piece, identifiable from the piece. Good word.
Right.
As is Admiral Nelson's green sweater that he wears
the V-neck sweater
only when he goes in the diving bell.
Yeah, the green V-neck sweater in the diving bell and the black leather jacket in the flying sub.
Right, so it is apparently a special diving bell sweater. It's probably cold when you go down the diving bell, so he wants the sweater.
Yeah.
So let's
also, the rifle is scratch built out of aluminum and plastic.
Okay, so why don't you keep turning so we can see all sides, because Lars does all sides here.
Yes.
So here's the back, and there's Lars's arm. Okay, and so in the back we have these little switches, which was also part of the original nightmare of this, but ended up pretty cool.
Right. There's a routed out area underneath for the battery, and a routed out area for the speaker, for the audio part. And they had to get extended to come out here because Kirk didn't want to have to lift this up. It was originally underneath, and so they're extended out here. I had to add on solder, And,
because we should explain that when this is displayed, there's actually a glass dome that goes over the top of this. You can see the slight edge around the base, and so that obviously every time you pick it up, you would be in danger of breaking the dome or jostling the whole thing, which you didn't want to have to do.
Take it off first and then do
it.
Right.
And so that's a good shot of the light.
Yeah. So the light is actually it's called an arc welding light.
And the concept being because the diving bell's been smashed, the lights are arcing.
Yeah, the electrical wiring is ripped out and is shorted out, and wires are shorting against the hull and whatnot. So this gave the perfect effect. Right. And so there's a blue LED that's just static, and then two white flashing LEDs in there.
Oh, that's interesting, because I wouldn't think that. It looks like a blue LED flashing. So
the blue is just illuminating, and then the white is giving it that sort of like lightning.
Very cool.
Kind of look.
And then the sound chip.
The sound chip is...
do you remember where it's
Kirk
from?
got the actual... Obviously, the audio is actually from the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he got he actually got the chip and the speaker and sent it to me, and then I routed out underneath.
Right, and we'll have to look up where that is, but it's basically a recordable sound chip that, like, crafters use them a lot to put in a card or any kind of toy where you want to record someone's voice or music or whatever you want to record. It had quite a big capability. It actually records quite longer than we had expected. 2 minutes, which would be kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. And it was fairly easy to use. It didn't look it, because when you get it, it looks like not much of anything, but it was actually fairly easy to record on, and it plays pretty nice. And the speaker actually is pretty good quality, considering it was not an expensive piece, really, relatively speaking. So.
No, but it adds to the effect. And then the plants here are a combination. Some of them are from the pet store, actually aquarium plants, that came in this sort of garish purple shiny plastic that I airbrushed each one.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and then some of them are dried flowers from the craft store. Mm-hmm. And
but the aquarium plants are quite perfect, because this is
the big leaves.
The
There's a lot of big leaves in the jungle, setting, obviously. So,
right.
So it's a combination of those two kind of plants, and this is Sculptamold. And then I made this base out of, and routed this edge here just to give it a little bit of detail.
Yeah, which makes all the difference. And then you added those little...
Yeah, the little tanks, too, I made, too, just to give... Because they were always present. You always saw them leaning against the side. And
which Lars is motioning, but you can't see him do it. He's actually, right with his hands, showing you, though, how they are in the show. But you can't see that because he's not on camera.
So that adds a little bit to it also, and the floor is added too. There was no floor; it was just this crushed part.
Right, all of which kind of speaks to how the details add up. Because if you can imagine taking away the sound, take away the lights, take away the vegetation, the people, all these things, the little diving bell piece itself, would look like nothing. I mean, it would be cool still because it is a real original prop, but I think most people's imaginations would not be able to fill in the blanks. And so by doing this, we've turned that piece of prop into a
story.
Like, you can see the story. You can see what's happening.
Yeah, the dinosaurs come. He's done this, and his leaves his mark, and he's firing at it off at a distance, and he's trying, and Nelson's trying to contact Seaview.
And Nelson's even got his hand on his hip. He's annoyed, and you know, and if you had a scene like this, and you had an actual iguana at home, you could reenact the scene. You could totally see how that would work.
Yeah. The other thing I'd like to point out is at the convention when we had Terry Becker and David Hedison and Al Hunt sign this. Terry Becker passed away not too long after, so we're really glad that he actually got to see this in the early stages.
Right, and we do have some pictures of that on your blog?
On the Flight 612.
It's on Flight 612?
Yeah.
Or Lars Lowe?
No, on the Flight 612. And mine.
So either way, so iaflight612.com and larslil.com, we'll put the links in the bottom. We have some photos of Terry and the gang when they got to see this piece. Unfortunately, it wasn't finished yet. He didn't have enough time to finish it before we had to go to the convention.
He was in the scene. I had